some of these are wild. And I laugh because I'm seeing Danielle's right here. Danielle in Arlington, good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Hey, so you were doing some cat sitting. Did you know these people well, or how did we meet them?
No, they were some neighbors.
Okay.
I was doing just the neighborhood babysitting, cat sitting route.
Sure. And what we see?
They had a goldfish pond out back, and they're like, oh, just go down to the basement one day for some food back there. And that was their art studio.
Sure.
But they failed to tell me that in their art studio, they had a full-size, fully dressed mannequin with makeup and a wig and a hat and everything.
God. That's
scary.
Terrifying.
I would scream.
Terrifying.
I did scream. It scared the living daylights out of me. And then when I told them later, hey, next time someone's in your house, tell them about the mannequin, they go, oh, you meant magenta.
Oh.
Magenta,
yeah,
duh, yeah.
Yeah, should have known that.
My bad. I should have thought that would be there.
Magenta took a couple years off my life.
Oh, I
Sounds
bet.
like it,
All right,
yeah.
Danielle, 1 second. You're in the running. The mannequins are just scary in general.
Yeah.
But like, just to see one, I would. No, thank you.
No.
Let me go in Springfield. Amanda, good morning.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Before I say anything, my kids are upset. So go ahead. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. What are your names, children?
Lily and Declan.
Oh, hi guys. How old are you guys?
5, 9.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank
Appreciate you. Amanda, so what we see in somebody's house?
All right, so we have a roofing company.
Uh-huh.
So we have to do inspect like big condo buildings before we go in and redo the whole roof. So we had to go in everyone's unit, which everyone hates, especially hoarders. So this one guy, horrible hoarder, like newspapers up to the wall, everywhere. And we noticed that there's a blowtorch just like in his kitchen.
Okay.
Oh.
And we're like, oh, what is that for? He goes, oh, well, I'm redoing my cabinet, so I'm using it to take the paint off.
What?
So he's
Oh.
just using the blowtorch in the kitchen in a condo, many units.
Yeah.
Oh, my
To
God.
take off a wood. That seemed to me that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong there.
Why didn't I think of that?
Okay, Amanda. 1 second. You were in the running. Those kids sound adorable too.
They do sound adorable.
Golly.
Aw.
Little kid voices.
They're
you know?
sweet.
Hold on. The voice change for this one. I'm going to say to you, don't guess what company this is involved with.
Okay.
Okay. Fake name Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, man. So you do work for multi-million-dollar homes. Can you say what kind of work you do?
Low voltage, so residential security, cameras,
Okay.
stuff like that.
So we're talking like people with a lot of cash who
Yeah.
want security because they have so much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What do we see, brother?
So this is a very well-known brand. You guys probably see it every day you go about. And I was doing some work in there. There's two crazy things I saw. So first I saw a eggplant-shaped pool. You could probably put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
In the backyard, and then I go up and I start looking around and stuff like that. And at the top of the pool is actually a water fountain that goes on and off.
Yep.
There and there. And then the second thing I saw in there was actually a room in there that they call the red velvet room, and all like the carpets,
Yeah.
the sheets,
Yeah.
bedding, drapes, everything were all red velvet.
And that's where they store the cupcakes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sure.
Wow.
And then I was running some wire in there, and I accidentally hit a button, and what reveals is probably approximately a 12-foot glass case filled with a bunch of fun toys.
Look at that.
Wow.
Hidden behind a button. And fake name Mike, would you say this industry that they're in, we would never guess somebody in that industry would have this, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Well-
Can I ask this out of curiosity, how much was the gig?
As in,
Like how much? How much did they pay for the security stuff? Yeah. How much is like an average?
Oh, probably around, like, this one was probably a 25,000 square foot home, so probably
So they are secure.
30 to 40 grand. Something
Okay.
like that.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Fake name Mike, you're in the running. Okay.
I bought a $29 peephole camera yesterday.
Look
so
at you.
I also feel like I'm thriving.
Yes.
25 grand.
I would just also offer to those folks, again, I'm not a wealthy man by any means, if you have a red velvet room, do you need to hide the toys? Because I think everybody walks in that room and goes, oh, this is the room where that happens. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, if they just, I don't know, if maybe they're just showing people around to see it and they
Wanna see
don't want them out for display.
The red velvet room. Here it is. There it is right there.
I mean, if you have it, why not show it off? Like,
That is
just like,
true.
be like, and this is the red velvet room. Don't enter.
Yeah. It's cupcakes all the time.
Just saying.
You know what I mean? God, there's so freaking many of these. Let me go in Annapolis. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, girl. So you work as a health nurse, home nurse. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, thank you.
And-
I worked 20 years in the ER, and I switched over to home health. So I went to visit. I went to do a visit for a dressing change for this little. She's a little bit of an elderly woman, and I get to the front door, and I knock on the door. It's a screen door. It was summertime, and she said, "Come on in." And I'm like, okay, are you sure? I said, can you come meet me? And so I opened the door, and all of a sudden these little things come scurrying, and I look, and they are 4 raccoons.
Oh my
And-
God.
And I stopped, and I shut the door, and I'm like, she's like, oh, don't worry about those. Those are my pets. I
Oh,
said, raccoons
sure.
are not. I said, raccoons are not pets. They're wild animals.
Well,
They can be.
And she said, well, if you don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
coming in here, meet me in my office. It's detached in the back. Okay. So I said, I'll meet you back there. So I go to, and then, there's overgrown grass, and I'm thinking, I'm going back to the ER. I'm not working in home health anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm going through this grass, and then all of a sudden I hear this banging, and one of the raccoons had smashed through a screen in the bottom part of the house and was running out into the yard.
Oh, boy.
I thought it was chasing me, so I ran into this little glass office that she called it, shut the door, and then all of a sudden I hear something in the back. Well, this is where the huge goat lives.
Oh, sure. Of course. Of course.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So 4 pet raccoons and a pet goat.
And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I'll go back to the emergency room. We
Yeah.
thought
Yeah,
going
I can
from there,
imagine.
but
Yeah.
this does.
Yeah.
Was
All
she
right.
like a veterinarian before? Like,
No, she sounds like one of your relatives.
She is just one of these. She's one of these old crazy ladies. God bless her, but
yeah.
Sure.
she had raccoons and goats, and I don't know what else was living in that grass.
Oh,
and
man.
but
No.
never again.
Okay. Michelle, 1 second. You're in the running. I will say this,
Raccoons are so cute.
right?
Yeah.
Raccoons was they mess because you want to know what? A little baby raccoon would be pretty sick.
My ex-boyfriend's dad had a raccoon. Her name was Bandit. And she would go to the fridge and like bring him beer and open it for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's pretty on brand.
I got to meet Bandit a few times.
Did you?
I did.
How'd you guys bond?
Well, my dog's name was Bandit.
I know that.
My old dog, so
Yeah.
we bonded.
But did she like being pet and that kind of stuff? Is she like a vibe?
Yeah, like you could pet her, you could hold her. She had to get used to you.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
That's pretty exciting. Vote for your favorite text, 99338. Let me go. Is it Hibba?
Hi, yes, good morning.
Hey, girl, what'd you see in somebody's house?
I saw a shrine they had dedicated to their cat.
Okay.
I was just, she was paying me to clean her house, help clean out the house a little bit.
Sure.
And, the first thing I see when I walk in is just this shrine, just chilling with some portraits and candles. And, the cat even had its own little throne to sit on. So it was pretty
wow.
interesting.
Okay.
Fancy.
And so
Yeah, very fancy.
Cat was still with us?
Cat was still with us,
Okay.
so that's where the throne comes in. That's where the
Sure.
cat would sit.
Sure. And so the cat actually used that said throne?
Not that I saw. I didn't know where the cat was at the time, but
Yeah.
I knew she existed. I was too busy cleaning,
Sure.
Had to make my
Sure.
my
And
money.
we love our cat owner
Yeah.
friends, but there's
We
always
do
the
love our
stereotypes, of course. Hibba, were these people stereotypical cat people where it's like it makes sense they'd have a throne to their kitty?
I will say she was an old lady, so it played into that
Sure.
stereotype.
Sure.
Okay.
A bit.
All right. Hold on 1 second. You were in the running. Again, I
Lucky
think great.
cat.
Vote for your favorite text, 99338.